Hey, it's W5HRO. Well, I just got back on this again this morning. I've been debating on what to do because of the way that waveform looked like crap on the one side of that 6SN7 that I was pulling from ground. Well, I was actually able to improve that. I was going to try this because I had one more thing I was going to do next, but I thought, let me try this first. And what I've done is this is the circuit, right? And I'd had this, I thought, it'd be better because the original Peter Orr, I'm thinking of Peter Dahl, Bill Orr circuit from the old radio handbooks. He had, like this, he had an 18K from ground, with just hard direct connection. So this thing's getting its bias from over here. And I thought it would probably be better to balance these things out, right? And even add this 27K up here to make sure we had more balance. It'd probably be better than cap couple it instead. Well, I thought, well, let me go ahead and do it the way he did it, the way I had it in my original circuit. Because, like I said, I built this original thing that I've had all these years out of that Bill Orr handbook, and the circuit's exact except for one component. But I thought, well, let me go ahead and direct connect this thing, just lift this resistor off and do this. And believe it or not, this thing now is 50 times better. It's a lot cleaner. Sometimes it'll come up, it'll peak about 323 volts, sometimes 321 peak to peak. And if I turn it up, it just starts to square off, but it's like, it direct connecting this thing and getting rid of that one resistor right here made a huge difference. I think I can live with this now. However, that's only if I can get this back up to at least 350 peak to peak with this load. This load is just a hair bit lighter. I think the KW1 secondary is designed for 2,150 ohms or something like that. And this is a 2,400 ohm that reads like 23.9 something. It's close enough. If I get 350 on this, I'm happy. And so anyway, but it's close. And I think if I play around with what I need to do now is one thing I realized too is that's with the audio gain up all the way. I need to increase the gain on this stage. I knocked it down too far. And what I need to do is I need to play, what I'm going to do is I looked in the RCA, the RC coupled, the amp coupled charts. And to get this thing back up to where you got the next little bit higher gain is I got to put this thing back to a 470 and this to like about a 1.2K or something. And this is going to be like a 2 meg. And then I'll get the gain up a lot higher, a little higher. It won't be like it was originally, but it was going to be, when I put 10 millivolts in here, I get 2 volts out, but that's with the audio gain up all the freaking way. Now a D104, that's the other thing. I only had about 1.3 volts here. So a D104, so that means 1.3 times 2 is what I can do peak to peak input. And the D104 on its high level peaks is hotter than that. It's going to want to go positive. It's going to have trouble driving it. D104 can't drive these things positive. You need something with some gain or some current behind it. So this has got to be a voltage amp only. So I'm going to go ahead and beef this thing up a little bit to get a little bit more voltage gain. Then I'm going to adjust these 2 resistors here. This is going to be the main one too. And I think I might be able, what I came up with was 24K was 27 was way too big. 24 was still a little bit too big, and I went down to 18K like the original the Bill Orr circuit, and it was a little bit too low, so I went up to 20K and it was just right. Now, 22K might have been even a little better, so I didn't try a 22. So that's what I'm doing. I just got to get the gain level up on this. And what I'm going to have to do is I think I may have to run this thing up. Well, right now, I've got 350 here and I have 330 on these guys. So when I rebias this stuff, I'm going to this is probably going to be a lighter bias. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the value of those cathode resistors, like on the 6N7, the 6SK7 first, and see if I can get that peak amplitude up higher. If I can get it up higher, then okay. If not, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and I'll tie these resistors over here to this side of the supply. It's on the same, so it gets it up a little, you know, another 20 some volts, and that might take care of it. I'm only going to do that if I have to. Then I'll just use the resistance on this side. But I'm getting close. It looks pretty clean now. See, if I run the amplitude up real high, that's okay. It's not bad. That I can live with that. You know, the frequency doesn't change, but I can live with that. That's not, but see, that's about almost a volt into it. And the D104 is going to hammer this thing. So, but see, it's not really increasing the peak to peak. So when I get it just to where you start to see a little distortion, I can get about 323 peak to peak out of it when I get it set just right. And that's kind of what I want. I want the thing maxed out just a hair, because when it starts doing that, you get those good even order harmonics. And I want it to double the audio frequencies of my voice, because my voice is so deep and bassy. I need to double, I need to multiply, you know, the frequency tones of my voice to get a wide enough bandwidth where I sound halfway decent on the air. And that's what I do. I use that first harmonic coming from my voice. I just double it. So I get those. So that's how normally I wind up with about 7 to 8 kC wide bandwidth at the max when I turn everything up. But that's using that first harmonic to, you know, to amplify it. Sometimes the second one. So they're just even order harmonics. They're not, you know, they're not odd order, which creates all that horrible harsh sound. And so anyway, but it's working. So I'm just going to go through now and see if I can't adjust all the bison and increase the gain on this stage, because I need to make sure this is minimum of 2 volts all the freaking time. Minimum into the input to this thing. So, and it's probably going to have to be, it's going to be a lot higher, because I'm going to get, it's not compressing anymore because I need more. What I found out was the reason when I would turn that audio gain up just a little bit, it would compress. That was because I had a problem with those transformers, and it was like that, it was oscillating with that 120, it was a 60 hertz getting doubled, and it was just in there. So when I would turn it up, it would just sort of like self-oscillate with all that garbage in there, and it wasn't real. Now the thing is clean. Now if I turn this thing up, it's a clean level, and I'm not getting that compression like I was. So now I got to get the compression back by increasing the gain on this stage a little bit and trying to readjust these guys so I can drive this stuff to get a little higher voltage swing out of it. So let me play around with it. Now, if this doesn't work, if I can't, I mean, I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. Even if I can't get it up to 350, compared to what I used to have, this thing would die. Remember this transformer? I had the power transformer. This thing now, look what happens. I turn this thing all the way down. Look at the current meter. There's up. See, look, it's only backing down like 5 milliamps. I mean, that's amazing. It's only dropping 5 milliamps, just shy of 10 at times. I mean, this thing used to drop like a brick. This thing used to go boom, boom, way down from that static bias. It just couldn't, you know, that transformer, I mean, that power supply that I had in here was maxed out at idle. So when you'd modulate, it just had nothing left, and the voltage would cave. Now it's not doing it anymore. So this is a tremendous improvement compared to what I had. So I never had 320 some volts peak to peak going to my 810s. I never even had it. It was never even there. It was like probably barely, it was probably a little over, by the time this thing died down under full load, I probably had about, you know, little over 200 volts peak to peak driving the grids, and I needed, you know, 350 around. Well, 347 minimum, but about 350. So that's why I was shooting for 350, at least on this load. And this has been my reference. If I get 350 on this, I'm happy. But if I can't in the end, I may just live with it, because this is going to work and sound way better than what I had. I mean, it's even cleaner. You should have seen what this thing looked like before. Because see, when I built this thing, I built it straight from the Bill Orr handbook. I keep wanting to say Peter Orr. I kept, you know, What was I going to say? I got confused. Never mind. I lost my train of thought. I was going to make another joke, and now I forgot what I was saying. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead here. I'm talking too much, but I know what I was going to say, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. I remember it came back. Uh, when I originally built this thing, I built it component per component, and I only had two problems. And I put it in the transmitter when I got the final modulator wrecked and the transmitter all powered up and testing everything out. I uh, I had a problem with the mic jack. I had to pull the front panel off once. I fixed that because the actual key line was shorted because somebody forgot an insulated spacer when they built the jack. It probably came from Taiwan or someplace, China, who knows. So I replaced the jack, got that working. And then I realized I had two, because when I built it, I used a .01 on all the coupling, even from the 6SJ7. And with my deep bassy voice, it wasn't rolling off the low end. It was letting it pass, and it was too bassy. So I went to like a .0022, and that cleared it up. And I've gone to a .01. That could be a little bit too high pitched, but we'll find out. It's probably, with my voice, it should be about right. So anyway, but when I built it, I did that, and like I said, I pulled the lid off to change the mic jack, and I pulled it off the panel off one more time to change that cap. I put it back on. It was never off since, until 20 years later, we moved to San Jose, or 18 years later, whenever it was, and I got my home there, and I dragged all my equipment here to California, and I started working on it, and I pulled it off, and I started getting out in the garage, and I was clipping around, and I was looking at it, and I had the other one of these. I had the original one of these S9 UTC driver transformers, and like I said, I had a couple RCA cables that I had plugged in here that I'd set up there with a couple other resistors I was playing around with here for the load, and it looked like total crap because I'd never scoped it. But all the years when I would modulate, it was squaring off way worse than when you really max it out. And I'm going to be able to get that better before it's over. But that right there, that's peak level. And when it maxes out like that, the actual peak to peak level goes down. So I actually turned this down a little bit. I was just kind of playing with it. See, there, it comes up. See that? And see, it's just starting to square. That's where you'll get those good even order harmonics. And that's what I want with my voice to get my bandwidth for AM. So I've got a substantial signal in a decent sounding bandwidth. So anyway, so I never touched it, but this is the thing, all the years I ran that thing, the way this thing was, even here the last year before last, when I was on the air with it, talking to a lot of guys on AM, they said it sounded absolutely beautiful. I had one guy tell me that was the best sounding D104 he ever heard in his life. You can't beat a D104 connected properly to a 6SJ7 speech amp tube. You can't. And the fact that I was using low mute trios to drive the A10s was even better, right? So you can't beat the sound. But it never worked this good. This is better than it ever was before, I can tell you right now. So I just got to see if I can get it where I want it before I stop. But I think this configuration is going to work. I'm going to try removing this extra 27K resistor. I'm just going to short across it real quick. I'm just going to put a little jumper across it and see what it looks like. See if the peak to peak level comes up when I adjust the gain into this thing, or if it's going to decrease. That way I'll know if I need it in there or not. So we'll see. That's not 27 anymore. These are both 20Ks. So maybe I can eliminate this one side and it'll improve things. Let's see what happens. So that's all for now. I just wanted to give you an update. It's going to be a little while before I do another one, probably another few days. Maybe a couple days, maybe another week, but we'll see. Let me plug away. I've got plenty of time, and I can work doing the 810 rack. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it out here, clean it all up, and I'm just going to redo that supply with that regulator. And it's going to be a simple mod. It's just a supply, and if it doesn't work, I could always put it back real quick. But I'm going to bring it out here. And the only delay would be is I have to decide what resistor values I need in the end, and then I have to order them, right? Some of the fix those high wattage resistors. I've got the rheostats, but I may need the high wattage resistors for the I know I do. like what I say I needed. I've got that drawing somewhere, but that's going to be a simple thing. It's not like this where I tried to change the design. I'm trying to get stages to couple properly, and I've run into problems doing that. But the supply, that's just a supply. That's an easy thing. I don't foresee any issues with it. It should go within 2 weeks. I should have that thing back in the shack. So anyway, that's all for now. So 73s. This is W5HRO.